Yep.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of the For the Badge podcast. Today, primarily a Chelsea-centered episode, which I'm would normally be happy about, but today is very interesting. Thomas Tuchel, manager that led us to the Champions League, uh, winning it, not just the final, has been sacked. Uh, Pretty abruptly, I would say, 2 games after the window ended, and Graham Potter coming in. So first, let's talk about, did he deserve to be sacked? Anyone can start that.
I'd say yes because teams figured him out and how to disrupt Chelsea from playing the way they wanted to play. Because I felt like the best way to beat Chelsea throughout the past like 2 seasons since he's taken over is just frustrate Chelsea and they won't know what to do after that. And I felt like the past couple games Chelsea's played in against West Ham and then against the team they lost to in the Champions League, all they had to do was just play bunker ball and frustrate them and be technically disciplined, and they had a good shot at beating Chelsea because I feel like Chelsea's attacking wise, their quality isn't the greatest because you have Sterling, but of course they're signing Aubameyang, but like he hasn't played yet, and he came over because of Tuchel. So I mean, I felt like it was half deserved, half wasn't. I'm gonna change my answer. Half deserved, half wasn't. It was too early, I'd say. But I guess management saw what Bournemouth did, and then they're like, you know what? Yeah, why not?
Well, for Aubameyang, he played Champions League game, I think 59 minutes. I think I subbed off, but he was told, apparently he was told by Todd Bowley, or at least the board, that he was brought in as a club signing, not a manager signing. And he was pretty happy with that. Uh, and yeah, they told him like they still have faith in him, like they think he's gonna succeed under Graham Potter, stuff like that. So I'm sure Tuchel being here made it a little better for him. It made him want to come here a little more. And I'm sure Tuchel was excited for it too. But apparently he came as a club signing. So
I
I don't
have
know.
uh, something to add to Josh's point. I think when you said they figured out Chelsea, um, I think when a lot of teams start going bad run form, it's like a mixture of things. I think partly because their ideas and their tactics aren't meshing well with the players, and because of that, it's easier for other teams to play against that. I think a big part. I remember when Chelsea were doing surprising people in the Champions League. Um, so let's be honest, their team individually is never going to go anyone's all-time 11, maybe besides Conte. But
Thiago Silva.
together, yeah, maybe okay, Thiago Silva. But like individually, they didn't have like the greatest team ever to win the Champions League. We're just being straight up. But they worked so well together as a unit and stuck to their game plan so well that they were able to beat teams that were better than them, and come out with the win. And I think partly, I think Conte was a big part. I want to say like I remember Conte was so good at linking the midfield to the forwards. He was able to get the ball, pick it up, and move it forward, and he was just great. But because he's been injured so much, I think they missed out a lot. And the forwards look super isolated. Um, Not that the forwards have been doing themselves any favors either, besides Sterling, but still, they look super isolated, and it just wasn't working. But I don't think that meant Tuchel was out of ideas. I just think it wasn't working at this point in time. So I'm going to say with undeserved, but I know there was more reasons than just sacking Alpha Form. I know there was, I know Bowley, I don't know, wanted a fresh start, which I don't agree with, but whatever. He's like, I want a fresh manager leading this revolution or whatever the hell. So, and if you're considering those other factors, I can't really say behind the scenes. But if we're talking form, like, I really don't think it's. I mean, like, but it's Chelsea. At the same time, it's Chelsea. Like, I'm not that surprised because it is Chelsea. They're known to do this. Everybody knows Chelsea do this. Um, that they will fire managers no matter how well they've done, no matter how they put a Champions League out of the hat. But it doesn't matter because he had a few losses to begin the season and they didn't give him time to turn it around, even though I do think he could have. It's Chelsea. It's what they do. It's not surprising.
All right, so I'm gonna give my opinion now.
Yeah.
Um, and while I don't necessarily disagree fully with you, I think there's a lot more that needs to be looked at. So just to answer the question if he deserved, I think as a manager, if he was under Abramovich, does not deserve to be fired. And I think I say that because, like you say, Chelsea are known to do this, and Chelsea are known to do it under Abramovich. I think because of the timing and the way it looks like one of those sackings that Abramovich would do, but it's in a different context now under Bowley because he wants to usher in a new era of a long-term manager, and he just doesn't feel that Tuchel is that. But because the way it happened, the timing it did, it looks like another one of those. Oh, he did it. He lost 2 games. He's gone.
But he used it as an excuse to do it. Like, let's be honest. He even wanted to get rid of him since the beginning. He just happened to see that this is the right time. He could have been more patient.
He could have been,
Straight up.
yeah. He could have been, but I mean, I don't know. But that's what I mean. Like, I don't necessarily think it's a bad decision because at the same time, I do like the idea of new owner comes in. With him comes a new coach, a new manager, one that he wants to keep in for a long time if he succeeds. I like that. Along with the new manager comes a new sporting director too. But yeah, I mean, like, of course, I think it's heartbreaking that Tuchel was the one that got fired. I think if it was anyone else, if they didn't achieve as much, we'd be like, okay, like whatever. But because Tuchel is Tuchel, because everyone loves Tuchel, and like what he did for us, it's hard to see him go. But like I said, I'm excited at the same time. But yeah, I mean, like there was more to it than form because I guess so like we know Tuchel has like I don't want to say outlandish tactics, but like somewhat different tactics than we'd be used to. Like wing backs and 3 at the back and vice versa, which did good, but apparently like he started to lose the faith of the players because like they just like if you watch Chelsea, you see like no player pretty much plays the same position twice besides the goalkeeper and like center backs, and he rotates so much that a lot of players just like didn't like that, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. And yeah, so I think it was also like a dressing room kind of thing, and yeah, I don't know.
To add to the dressing room thing, it's like calling out your players during press conferences and be like, oh, they were poor, they need to do better. It's like, as a player, I feel like I would personally be not motivated, I'd be annoyed at your manager going out and telling the media that, oh, they were poor. It's like, no, you're supposed to stick together, and like you can say like, oh yeah, you guys need to step it up, you guys were bad in the dressing room privately, not in front of the media and bash on the players. Like I'd be annoyed and I'd be like, I'd probably confront and be like, hey, we don't appreciate that at all. I'm assuming some players probably didn't like it, and it was probably led to a more division, which also probably led to the whole locker room, dressing room kind of like splitting up maybe a little bit, and a little disagreements with the constant changing, because it's hard for players to get their form good and like get their feet running when they're constantly being rotated.
I think you're right about the calling out is can be kind of harsh to certain players. I do think though some managers just work that way. Like Conte is one of those. He has spoken out specifically, pointed at certain players sometimes. Um, but okay, and admittedly, I think it loses its effectiveness the longer he's around, or the longer a manager's around, because by then it's been 4 years, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years, and by then maybe the players don't get as motivated by it. But it does work sometimes. I can speak from experience from my team. He called out, getting called out right now, was one of the Tottenham players, and since then that player has been, well, everybody's been really good, so that player included. So it does work. I think the manager has to know which players to push a little further than others. Now maybe Tuchel didn't figure that out and push the wrong player too far, and maybe that started something, or a couple players too far. But I don't want to say it's completely the wrong way to go about it, because I think it does work, and I think you can get good results doing that. It's just an intense way to do it, and it can backfire, which sounds like it did potentially.
Yeah.
And sorry, I just want to add one more thing to Elijah's thing. You said he wants to start new, which I'm cool. I get that, but then why spend so much money on a lot of players right at the
No, I
end
agree.
there?
I agree. I mean, the way
Panic buying.
uh, I don't know about panic buying. I think it's more So the way his sacking has been happening is that the way it seems is that it was way more premeditated than we thought. Because of how quick Graham Potter was able to come in, how quick everything moved, and apparently when Cucurella was bought, like Todd Bowley was told about how Graham Potter works and all that, and his tactics and his success, things like that. Um, I know. So I'm left confused too, because like why? Like you're right. Why give Thomas Tuchel the freedom to sign players the way he did and does not back them? But at the same time, um, it wasn't as much like that. I think it was more like so the way it seems coming out is that there was a lot of tension between the owners and Thomas Tuchel because the owners wanted to sign players that Tuchel didn't want. Um, so the way it seems to me is like, okay, you buy your players you want, we buy the players we want, play for the same team, which is never gonna work. Apparently, like Tuchel didn't want to buy the Everton player Brandon, is it Williams? The the 20-year-old that you guys kept bashing me for them wanting to sign.
Oh,
Oh no, it was
Romeo Lavia?
No, that's Southampton.
no, it was the kid.
The kid, the Brandon from Everton.
Yeah, I know what
Oh,
you're talking
Is
about.
it
What's his
Williams?
name?
Brandon Williams?
Anthony Gordon.
No,
Anthony Gordon. Where did Brandon
My
come
man
from?
saying Brandon Williams.
I don't know where Brandon came from. Anyway, Anthony Gordon. So we didn't want to say Anthony Gordon, but Todd Bowley's analytical team really thought he'd be a good option for us, and they really so like there's some tension there, right? Todd Bowley also wanted to sign Ronaldo, and Thomas Tuchel really didn't want that. So
But the thing is, I agree with Tuchel on both of those decisions.
you what?
I agree with Tuchel that Ronaldo
Oh,
and Gordon were both bad decisions, and so
100%.
he actually stopped it. That was actually good. But Bowley
100%. But
is
that's the
new to
thing,
this.
though. That's the thing, though. I 100% agree with Tuchel, but Bowley, being the owner and all that, wants to, and there's some tension between, regardless. That's just gonna happen, even if it's all the way around. So yeah, I think like the sacking wasn't a sacking based off performance at all, and I think there was more behind the scenes that we don't know about that led to his sacking. For I don't know. So which I don't know what it could be. There could be some private like falling out between them and stuff like that. But like I said, the way his sacking is happening makes it seem that's premeditated because Graham Potter's coming in and Graham Potter is going to hire a new sporting director for Chelsea by the World Cup. So I mean, if Bowley's was planning on doing this whole not revolution, but rejuvenation of the backroom staff, he had to have been thinking about this for a little bit. So I don't know. It's a little weird, and I'm sure he was thinking about it. And then the whole dressing room stuff probably didn't help because he's probably like, okay, bet like players don't want him either. And the way it's apparently like the Chelsea board or higher ups at Chelsea, if not Todd Bowley, like talked to the players and pretty much just told them like, we have your guys' back. Like we're here because we have your guys' back. And that's why Tuchel's gone, kind of thing.
So the players went against Tuchel?
No, but not necessarily. But the players weren't happy as a whole, it seems. And the board was like, we don't want you to play under a manager that makes you unhappy.
Why would they?
Well, because the whole thing I was saying earlier, like
Game time.
So game time, Tuchel kept moving them around positions which players didn't like. They kept playing with different positions, which I was saying like no player played the same position twice. Like back to back, it seemed, except for wingback, center backs, and goalkeeper. It seemed. Yeah, just I guess apparently. So Tuchel had asked during the off season. Tuchel sat the players down and asked them, "Okay, straight up, tell me who wants to leave and who wants to stay." And I guess there was a lot of players that they want to leave, which Tuchel wasn't happy about. So yeah, like
guys, hold on, I was just joking.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
He's like, whoa,
kind of where it started.
Bro.
Is like Tuchel was not making his players happy anymore. Like it seems a lot of players weren't happy with like I said, his not outlandish tactics but different tactics. Like his thoughts just weren't being portrayed well, and the players weren't reacting well to them, so they weren't happy. So that's why the board sack him, and they come into the players' dressing room and they're like, "We have your guys' backs. Like we're not gonna crap on you guys for him. It's gonna be the other way around kind of thing."
I don't blame the players for being upset and wanting to leave because you
I don't like
gotta
players at all.
because they're like. Also, you gotta look at some of the players. A lot of the players on Chelsea are international players that are fighting for international spots.
Definitely.
And so they're like, if we're getting constantly rotated, it's like, why do I want to be here? Because I'm not going to be able to play. And when I do, I'm not playing great because I don't have any game time under my belt. So I'm basically starting from scratch every single time.
Right. Especially like
So
I think
I can see the frustration.
the key player in that we've kept talking about is Christian Pulisic. Like, he hasn't been playing. One, he has been playing. Two, he has been playing in his position, which I feel like if he's played in the position he wants to play, he's good to play in. Like, we've seen what he can do as a winger.
But when he's given the opportunity, it doesn't look great.
That's what
he's like over. No, I mean like over the years, he started off really good, and then he just seems just okay now.
Yeah,
he doesn't look good.
To me, the reason for that is because he's not consistent game time, and because he's not being played consistently, and he's had injuries too. But because he's not being played consistently, whenever he does come in, he looks mediocre, making Tuchel not want to play him more because of that mediocre, because he's playing him less. To me,
I mean, it does make sense though, because Pulisic did want a loan deal made, and Chelsea denied it. I don't know if it was Tuchel himself or the board themselves, but you can use that as evidence to add to the point that some players weren't happy about game time and why Pulisic wanted to leave, just for a loan.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, players unhappy, board unhappy with manager. It's just gonna happen. I mean, like, obviously, if you look when everything before all the details came out, it just looked pretty poor as to like his sacking. Like, why the hell did he do? I'm like, his results weren't that bad. But as more details come out, I'm like more okay with it, I guess.
But like, what happens if that's just the board chatting shit and just trying to justify why they did it and just make up lies?
I mean, my thing is like, it's hard for me to say that because it's not like the board. It's not like Todd Bowley is doing an interview saying all these things. It's just what people are gathering from people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm overall still kind of sad that Tuchel's gone because I love him. Who doesn't love Tuchel? Except maybe
I know.
Yeah.
But I will say,
I'm not a Chelsea fan.
that it got rid of the Battle of the Bridge Part 2 this season. I was looking forward to that. I want to see Conte and Tuchel go at it again, and now Tuchel got thrown aside. And Grandfather's not that kind of guy. He's
I know Grandfather's quiet. He's just quiet and reserved. He's not gonna.
Yeah. Not that it's a bad thing, but I wanted to see some fight.
Yeah. Watch UFC.
You never know. Maybe Tuchel goes to Brighton, and then we'll see it eventually.
Tuchel, I think Tuchel's going to Liverpool next. I think Klopp's out.
Oh no. Liverpool would never fire Klopp in a million years, no matter.
Oh, I would love to talk about Liverpool right now, though. Are we gonna talk about them? Or no, we're not.
We can set. You know what? Let's just run with it. Let's run with it, and then we'll bring it back somehow.
Well, hold on. Let's talk about Graham Potter's hiring first, and then we can be done with it.
Yeah, we can mention it.
Like, I think I speak for most of the rhetoric I've been seeing on social media from Premier League fans, besides Chelsea fans. Generally speaking, I would say I speak for most of us that it's disappointing to see Graham Potter go to Chelsea. Not because, and yes, maybe he wanted a Champions League club where he could show his real, what he's really made of, which I think everybody agrees Graham Potter is probably one of the better managers in world football right now. He still has to prove himself, of course. We got to see him playing the biggest games. But as for like what he's done in Brighton, great stuff. But to leave into what arguably could have been one of the greatest seasons ever, having a great start, has the players he wants that he's built around, just to leave to Chelsea, who are known for not really having too much loyalty with their managers. And yes, Chelsea fans are like, oh, I love this manager. That's fine. But when you ask a Chelsea fan, who's a classic Chelsea manager? Only person people are going to say is Mourinho. That's the only person other people outside of Chelsea that remember really well. So like, he got fired in 2 years, and people are going to be surprised. I know you're saying it's Bowley, so it could be new. I need to see some evidence of some loyalty from Bowley before I start believing that.
So my evidence then is that as different sport, but he's a Dodgers owner too. Dave Roberts has been the manager for 6 years because he's.
Is he a minority though? He's not like the main owner. I remember reading he's
I
like
forget.
minority share.
I thought he's a big enough owner to have a say,
Okay.
but I'm not sure. But yeah, that's my evidence too. And if he was doing bad, I'm sure like he had like again he has a say in it. So, but that's my evidence. Is that
Okay.
Dave Roberts
Well,
has been manager for 6 years, and there has been time like the Dodgers have been like one of the best teams in baseball. Most of the time, we did win a World Series, but like
right, right.
not all the time. Like there's a few seasons that we lost very early in the playoffs or didn't make the playoffs, and he didn't get sacked. So I don't know.
I mean, but he's not the sole owner like he is for Chelsea. Chelsea, he makes the
Right,
calls,
right.
The
That's fine.
Dodgers, there's
very
so
different.
many owners.
Yeah. That's just how American sports is.
So
Split up makes a lot of people.
basically, I'm sad that one of the promising minds of football has gone to a club that is known to be ruthless with their managers. And yeah,
Well,
so that's my piece.
I don't. I mean, I get what you're saying, but also like again, you're referring to Chelsea as Abramovich Chelsea, and I know
Yes,
it's not gonna change until we see Graham Potter in office for 4 or 5 years.
yeah,
But
yeah, exactly.
which I understand. But keep an open mind about it. That's not. It's a different club and possibly or it's a different owner, a different possible club culture, which he's trying to set up.
Sure, but as of right now, he's done the exact opposite.
Well, okay, but also my thing is if Antonio Conte got fired today and Graham Potter went to Tottenham, you'd be like, oh, it's great for Graham Potter and stuff like that too. I think I think it's great for Graham Potter. I understand why he made the decision because I understand. Okay, being a football manager player, I understand the idea of taking a lower team up, right, to the ranks, being and building that team up. But a lot of managers in real world football are gonna start these lower level clubs, get a little bit of success with them, and move on to bigger clubs. That's just how it's gonna work. They want to
Right.
work for the biggest club, so I don't blame him at all for picking that. Also, because when is the next option? When is the next opportunity for him to do that gonna be? Because you look at the big clubs in the Premier League. City's not getting rid of Pep anytime soon. I don't think Liverpool's going to get rid of Klopp anytime soon. Arsenal's not going to get rid of Arteta. Um, I don't think Tottenham's going to get rid of Conte because look what he's doing with Tottenham right now. And who am I missing? United. Like
I think they might.
I think they could.
Can.
I don't think so. Not anytime soon. I give them like 2 or 3 years because I mean they're doing
I
pretty
give
good.
them a couple months.
They're doing pretty good right now. They're doing better than what they were doing.
I mean, they lost today.
Well, they're above West Ham at the table.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
like, I mean, they're doing
It's the
pretty
beginning
good.
of the season. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if they like lose form again, because they found form now, but if they lose it, then I feel like you can see him out the window. But back to Potter. I don't know. For my personal opinion on it was, I mean, good for him for his career to move to a bigger club. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Right.
you gotta look out for yourself. But it doesn't make a whole lot of sense from like the outside perspective because you spend so much time building Brighton to
That's
why
the main
leave
thing.
now?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's just like, especially at the time when your team's in form, like
They're
Brighton's
doing the
in
best
form at the moment.
they could ever have been. Like that's crazy. They could have made some history here. And it's just
Yeah,
I
and
know I
then
gotta
just
like
to
this
leave
point.
him behind.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just to leave him behind just feels a bit shitty in my opinion.
Agreed.
I feel like, but yeah, that's just what I think about it. I don't know if he's the right fit for Chelsea because I feel like some of the players on Chelsea may still want to leave, but also, like, it doesn't fix your guys' attacking issues. Even if you have a Aubameyang, that's just one striker.
well, I think, but that's looking at it from a just pure player perspective. I don't know what the tactics he's going to bring in.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to think about it and be like, okay, what tactics do you use at Brighton? Like, you have Cucurella already there, so he's already gonna know what's gonna happen. But it's like, will Chelsea players be able to play the way that Potter wants,
I think so.
that he did at Brighton, or is it gonna just collapse horribly? I don't think it will, but I think it's gonna be like a struggle to like find the right fit for the team overall. In my
I think
opinion.
he's going to do fine because so at like Brighton he uses like 3 different like formations normally. So like he like rotates through like a 4-4-2, a 3-4-3, and a 3-5-2. And the three at the back, you know, I've been pretty much what Chelsea have been using the past couple seasons to be successful. Now it's just Potter putting the players in the right positions to succeed with that, which I don't think Tuchel's been doing. I think Tuchel's been experimenting for like 2 years now, And I think Graham Potter knows how. I think Graham Potter is more set in his tactics and stuff, and with better players than what he had. I think he knows that too, and he knows like what they can do. It's just finding it. But I don't think I know what's gonna happen is we're gonna play against. Well, actually, we don't know if we're gonna play against Fulham this week, but the next game we're gonna like. I hope we'll win, but I'm sure if we don't win, everyone's gonna be like, okay, Graham Potter sucks, blah blah blah. His tactics aren't gonna work.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
At
agree
that
with
time.
that sentiment.
I won't agree with that. I'll just be like, see, I just told you it's gonna take time for him
Yeah,
to
of course. He's
find
gonna
the right formula.
he's gonna
Like,
take
I
time,
think they're gonna
100%.
struggle at first, and then I think they'll pick up steam once they get the right formula together. But I feel like it's gonna take a bit,
Yeah.
purely
And-
because of all the players that they have, and just trying to figure out which players are in form and not. Because a lot of them are out of form at the moment, so it's gonna take a little bit.
Yeah, and also I mentioned that reportedly I saw this. Chelsea paid £21.5 million to get Graham Potter and basically his entire backroom staff from Brighton, which is crazy. It's like that's an insane amount of money. I don't know if there's like a comparison to how much other managers have paid for other clubs have paid for other managers, but I feel like that's up there because that's pretty that's pretty insane.
Yeah, his
That's a lot of money.
contract is 60 million over 5 years, 12 million a year.
Yeah, yeah. So he is like, if there's one piece of evidence that shows that they're trying to stick with somebody, it would be how much money they're investing.
Very true.
But the only time will tell. I can't say they will because maybe they fire him, maybe they don't. We'll see.
Yeah,
I think the thing
it doesn't matter about the long term contract really. Like, it shows like the vision they have, but like if it doesn't work out, then you're gonna count them. It's like the Raiders, like with the Raiders right there, the football team. It's like with John Gruden signed a 10-year contract with $121 million. You think,
well,
he's
that's
here
different
to stay.
though. There's so much
No, it's-
controversy with John Gruden.
No.
Like
But
the
even
emails
then,
and
like
stuff.
at the time, even with the emails at the time, I wanted him gone because of how bad we were playing even before then. So it's like the long term like shows the initial like desire, but also you got to just focus on the present and be like, okay, will he be able to do it? Because we might have an episode like a year from now maybe saying, oh, he's gone. And then someone new.
The thing that sucks about that is that, like, okay, let's say he does pretty poor, and he gets sacked at the end of the year or at the end of 2 years. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, here comes Chelsea again, doing what they do," you know. But I think it sucks because, like, even though we're trying to create a new club culture, I feel under Bowley, it's never gonna be looked at that for another decade until we see it. And this, I don't know. For me, it's like not. I mean, I don't blame him, but it's not giving credit to Todd Bowley or anything on what they're trying to do. Because Chelsea have developed this 20-year-long identity of not giving anyone hope, not giving these managers hope. And honestly, I thought Tuchel was going to be the one to be like our set manager for a while, and he should have been if Abramovich was still owner. But yeah, so I don't know.
Who do Brighton sign now, though? Who do Brighton sign as their replacement?
Thomas Tuchel?
I say Scott Parker. Give him another shot. Rebuild. Help him, bring him back in the rebuilding, like what he did with Bournemouth when he joined them in the championship. Bring him back and see what he can do. Give him a second attempt. I am team Scott Parker if I'm Brighton.
I think it's going to be some foreign manager from a league that's maybe not as popular, but he has like some really interesting ideas, and then we take a gamble on it. Because I think Graham Potter is one of those guys who was putting some interesting ideas. What was the team? I forget what the team managed before, but
Yeah.
some team managers.
I forget how to pronounce it. Ostersund or
Awesome. Okay. Let me
I can't think of the name. How to pronounce it.
Yeah, Ostersund, and he was at Swansea for a year, and then Brighton got him.
Yeah.
So he was doing some nice stuff with Ostersund. I think they'll look forward, find someone who's because a lot of people don't give foreign managers the time of day, and they bring some interesting ideas. And plenty of managers should improve how like they perform well. So I think it'll be someone that we may not have heard of. I don't know.
Yeah. And one manager is doing really good internationally is the Napoli manager. He's killing it in the Serie A right now. I think they're sort of second or third right now, and they just beat Liverpool 4-1.
Yeah.
Well, I
Which
might as well just use that as a segue to Liverpool.
segue? There you go.
My God,
Nice
dude.
segue.
Liverpool was insane.
We're learning here.
Oh,
Liverpool was
We're
insane
learning.
last night.
oh,
Alexander-Arnold, the best English
Trent.
right back in the world.
Oh my God, he was
Uh,
horrible. He was so bad. He was lethargic. He was no passion, no aggression.
No
It's like
passion, no aggression.
passion. There's no aggression. There is no
he
vision.
was horrible. Um, he was just bad. He was just straight up bad.
Yeah,
Like,
all the clips yesterday of him just standing around and he's just watching.
yeah,
Like I don't know which goal it was, second or third goal in Napoli's. But he was standing in the middle of the
he's just standing there.
box, penalty box. He was watching.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It happened against United too. We saw it where he was beat and he didn't run back. He just kind of jogged. You're the right back, bro. That's your job.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, Trent is getting on my nerves. I know that technically he's one of the best technical players in the world, but you can't play right back if you're not gonna defend.
He's so overrated, in my opinion. Reece James better.
I
Look at Andres. Look at Andres. No, Reece James is 100% better.
I would agree Reece James
100%.
is better. But I'm also gonna say I don't think right back is his position anymore. If he's not gonna be able to defend like that, I think he's play hard up the field.
Yeah, 100%.
I know. I'm saying Reece James. If we're talking inform Trent versus inform Reece, it's Trent.
Oh, informed Trent is different.
Well,
We're not talking about informed Trent.
Yeah, I mean,
At the moment, anyone's better than Trent. So it's like.
Yeah, Elijah, I have to agree. Informed Trent is better than informed Reece. If we're
I
just
agree,
being straight up.
but I think
Yeah, but at
informed
this moment in time, anyone's better than.
I think Reece at his
Trent
best
Alexander.
could be better than Trent at his best. It's just we have seen Trent for longer. Personally,
But he's proven it longer than.
that's what I mean, though.
say
We've
that.
seen Trent for longer. We just need time to see Reece at
But,
his best.
we can't say inform. It's what it is right now, and right now Reece is better than
Right?
Trent. Just
Yeah,
because
but
Trent is
a
being
lot of right
100%.
backs in the Prem are better than. Trent.
100%.
Yeah.
I also want to
Because-
Trent's also been on the Liverpool team that could be considered a top 2, top 3 team in the world at their height, and Reece hasn't been a part of that. I want to see Reece a part of. I don't know if Chelsea's going to reach that, but if Chelsea can be a top 2, top 3 team in the world again, I want to see
Yeah.
what Reece could do in that role. And I think
I
that
think
could be. I think it could be, if not just as good as Trent, or just as impactful as Trent was.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, we'll see what Southgate thinks about it though. Let's see who he picks. For
Gareth Southgate doesn't. What do you mean? He doesn't. He picks Harry Maguire, so I don't know if he can trust this.
Well, you never know. Maybe you have a change of heart.
Aaron
Maybe
Wan
he'll be like, you know
Bissaka
what?
is starting the World Cup. I think Aaron Wan Bissaka deserves a start. And Kyle Walker behind him.
Kyle Walker's good. Kyle Walker's really good. Kyle Walker's the best right back. Is the best defensive right back in the league. I'm saying that.
I can't
But
disagree.
sorry, that's off topic.
I don't disagree.
I
But
can't argue with that.
so do we agree that Klopp is out within 2 months? I'm in. Klopp is gone.
No, because Liverpool's board and owner are actually willing to watch them go through a rough patch and believe in their managers. You know.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I think they believe in Klopp, yeah, just because he's brought success to them. And what 2 champions? Yeah,
I don't know. As a Liverpool fan, if I was a Liverpool fan, I will never be a Liverpool fan. But I would be mad at Klopp because I feel like he's been predictable in what they do, and I feel like their team is the easiest team to counterattack. From what I've seen, when West Ham play them, every time we play them, I genuinely think we have a shot at beating them purely because when we counter, we're probably gonna score. That's what happened the last 2 seasons.
You look
But,
at the 2 best defenders. It's Van Dijk and Trent.
Van Dijk's
They
out
don't
of
do
form.
crap.
Yeah, but no, even the last 2 seasons, onto this season too, when we play them, I'm genuinely think we'll beat them purely because they're on the counterattack, and I think any team can beat them on the counterattack because of just how they're set up, and it's been like that for years and nothing's changed. That's how you beat Liverpool's on the counter, and nothing's changed from it. But also it's and that's what Napoli did. Napoli, what scored on the counter got 2 PKs and 1 was saved, 1 was scored. So it's could have been 5-1.
I just think it's dumb to fire Asad Klopp for it when I feel like it's way more the players than the manager at this point.
I agree.
I think. Don't forget, Liverpool just made the Champions League final a couple months ago. This isn't been a long-term lot of form. This is pretty brand new, and yes, they haven't been great, but they got rid of Mane for Nunes, which is not right. I'm
Juve.
not saying Nunes can't be good, but he's not at the level of Mane right now at all. Um, Salah's way out of form. Luis Diaz is the only one doing anything up front. They still haven't played James Milner in midfield, and they barely got Arthur Melo on a loan. And then their defense is way out of form. So I don't think it's really Klopp's fault. I mean, I just think it'd be dumb to sack him for when it's kind of the players and the board's fault for not giving him the right reinforcements in midfield. I'm sorry, Milner's not fit to play anymore. It's not his fault. He's just not. He's
At least,
38,
at least
37.
not for Liverpool.
No,
It's like Liverpool's in that weird transition period where they have too much of an old player. That doesn't make sense.
too many old players.
Too many
Too
old. Yeah,
many
there you
old
go. It's English, God. Right.
We have to
Too
end that one
many
there.
old.
We have to end that
Too,
there.
too many old players playing, and then too many young players playing. Like if you look at their bench is pretty bad because they have a bunch of youngsters on their bench.
That's true.
It's just because they didn't sign anyone, and I don't know if that's Klopp's fault or the board's fault, but
It's the board.
you can't tell me they didn't have the money though because it's Liverpool. So it's like I feel like they're in that transition where like they're slowly realizing is that they're not going to be as good as they used to be because a lot of their players are getting older. And also, like, you have the inexperience with, like, Nunez and the other guy. I forgot his name. What else did they get?
Who? Arthur Melo?
Yeah. No. Who is it? It's Nunez and then the other guy. Who's the other guy?
I don't know who you're talking about.
It's not
Give some context.
Dude. I'm blanking. Whatever. But yeah, it's
Wow.
just it's a mix between like the young squad and then an old squad, and it's just not gelling. It's like what the Mexican national team's going through right now. Young squad mixed with an old squad, and it's just not gelling right now.
Yeah.
Also,
I just don't think it's Klopp's
also
fault.
the manager.
No, it's
Just
not.
can't.
I think
It's not Klopp's
it's
fault.
fine.
I mean, Thiago, their best midfielder, is injured. I think
Yeah.
Thiago comes back, all of a sudden they look a lot better as well. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't sack Klopp. I think it'd be dumb. The same way that if I say they shouldn't have sacked Tuchel, then I can't say they sacked Klopp because that'd just be hypocritical. So I think both managers should have stayed. But obviously, one is a very different situation. But we're just talking Klopp. No reason to sack him.
All right.
Maybe we'll blame the pitch
The pitch could be too wet.
again,
Yeah, okay, that's
windy.
that's not good.
or too dry, or too long, or the field was too short.
Mm.
Who
Grass
knows?
wasn't green enough. You know, it was like.
They didn't have enough water that day.
Mhm.
Who knows? It was too sunny outside. Who knows?
All right. Before we end today's episode, I want to mention. I mentioned the group chat earlier, but Galatasaray. I'm gonna go through the list of the people they've signed this year, and I just want you guys to react to it, and then we'll end the episode. Okay. So they just signed Juan Mata as a free agent. If you guys saw that, I think 1 year with an option for an extension. Dries Mertens from Napoli. Lucas Torreira from Arsenal for $6 million. Yusuf Demir from Rapid Wien, who was on loan at Barcelona last year for $6 million. Mario Cardi on loan from PSG. Milat Rashica on loan from Norwich, and I think that's it. Oh, Sergio Oliveira from Porto, who was just at Roma last year on loan. Galatasaray, they're moving mad this transfer window, and I think they're already the best team in Turkey, if not behind Besiktas or Fenerbahce. But the players they're signing are all still quality players, and they're going to Turkey. And I'm trying to figure out what's in it for them.
Money.
What are they promising them?
Money. They probably offered a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a great window.
Yeah.
It's a good window. You can say the same thing about Nottingham Forest, though. It's like
No,
No.
but
I think it's
no, not like terms of quality, but in terms of players, for Nottingham Forest standards that they brought in, that's a good window for them.
I think for the team standards, yeah, but for the league standards, Galatasaray are moving crazy compared to Nottingham Forest.
they signed players that you wouldn't expect them to sign, which means that they were able to somehow convince them to go. Well, Nottingham Forest signed players that, generally speaking, it's not like they were hard to get. I mean, Premier League has a lot of money, and it's not like they're a level above their team or whatever. So I think I don't know the other Turkish teams rosters or anything, so I can't say really judge anything on that. But if we're just talking purely the recruitment process, there wasn't a lot of straight up fees. I think the highest was today. It was like what £6 million or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, that's pretty good. I mean, like yes, there's probably a lot of agent fees, a lot of salary fees, but if we're talking straight up transfer fees to clubs, they got a bunch of good deals for good players.
Yeah, they got
I mean,
Hamada
they
for
did
free
win
and
today.
Dries Mertens for free.
Did they? Okay, well
Yeah,
there we
they
go.
won the Europa League today, 2-1. They
Yes, too.
on a red. They had a red card too today. Wait, sorry, no, wrong game. They
I mean,
did win.
they are currently seventh in the Super League, so not the best start, but only 5 games in. So I guess the
Keep an eye on it
yeah,
as the year.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, as the year goes on.
Wow, nice.
That one was rough.
It's okay, buddy.
So I think
Good place to end it there and just call it.
yeah,
Like,
we're just
nope.
gonna. I can't be here any longer. So all right, yeah. So we'll just end it there. So yeah, thank you guys for listening, for watching. Please subscribe if you have not.
Oh, the Queen. Hold
Oh,
on,
the Queen. Oh.
we gotta.
So. Yeah. Well.
I'm sorry, but you guys were like, "Oh yeah, the Queen."
Oh.
We have to say
Both sounded
something.
so bad.
We
Well,
have to say
I was
something.
gonna record again and put it before, like a disclaimer.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I ruined the whole freaking thing.
I
Well,
didn't realize you were
okay.
doing
Well, the chances that people get into this
Oh.
point, besides us three, are pretty slim. So, if you got into this point, God bless the Queen. She sadly passed away this morning. For us, it was this morning. After 96 years, a 70-year monarch reign. Wow, but rest in peace.
As I learned today, the longest monarch reign in all of England's history.
Well, I mean,
Wow.
The
I
answer said today.
through our
it
history,
was
like the
something.
time span of a person was like 25. So,
You
Not
just
even
kept saying it
surprised.
the whole game too. That's how I know.
well,
Sorry.
Okay.
Cut that out. Cut that last part out.
well, rest in peace. Rest in peace, the Queen.
Yeah, yeah.
King Charles now,
Rest in
His
peace.
Majesty King Charles.
Is that?
That's
is
the
that
guy?
like
Yeah.
Who is that?
It's her son.
Is that the guy, the bald-headed one, or?
I forget. Look it up. He's like 70 or 73 or something like
No,
that.
he's gonna die soon.
He's on his way out too. He's on his way out.
Disrespect, Diego.
he's-
Disrespect.
I'm sorry, he's old. I'm sorry. We better not have a 2-week break if he dies as well. That's all I'm saying.
Alright, for anyone who's gotten this far or this gets clipped later on in our lives, this is a complete joke. We mean nothing. We don't mean any disrespect.
So we just don't want the break in football. But we big condolences to the to the Queen,
to the family.
to the family, the royal family.
Yep.
to
God bless them.
England.
God
I'm
bless
so
her.
sorry.
It was a joke from what we all said today. We didn't
Mhm,
actually mean it. God bless the Queen.
Well, anyways, subscribe to us if you haven't. It'll help us out greatly. We're at 67, so 33 away from 100. So please get us there. We appreciate it greatly. Keep watching. And yeah. So thank you guys for watching. And see you. That's fucking terrible.
That was so